so here's another question here. In estate recovery. Now, this is going to be a big deal. This is another one of those things. You remember I was talking before about this tax relief that business owners got, right? Well, there's all kinds of stuff out there that you don't even know about that makes a big difference, can make a big difference one way or the other. And you have to do this stuff correctly, because if you don't, and look, is it any surprise? Are you surprised to learn that it's not set up so that it's easy to do it in a way that benefits you? It's not easy to do it in a way that benefits your family. And when people say things like, oh, I just do a ladybird deed, oh, I just do this, oh, I just do that, it drives you nuts. Because why would you think that the people who are making the system would make it easy for you? Why would you think? Has that been your experience so far? Oh, yeah. The people who are in charge make it easy for regular folks. Like, who the hell believes that? But if somebody says, oh, you just need to do this, or you only need to do that, and then that way it'll save your house, it'll save your money, it'll save you believe it. I wonder if it isn't more of a case of wanting to believe it, even though you know it's got to be BS. There is a way to do these things, but they're to be done. Anyway. So here's one more example of this, right? So my father has no estate or possessions. All right, so they spent him down for the Medicaid. In other words, he got rid of everything. And he's in a nursing home after a stroke. If my grandmother, Dad's mother, wants to give property to my family when she passes, whether it's to the letter writer, to me, my mother, my sister, are we going to lose this property due to estate recovery because of my father? Basically, are close relatives responsible for paying back the estate recovery for the patient in the nursery? It says nursery home. Well, not exactly. Nursing home, if they have no estate of their own to pay it back. Well, in most states, Michigan included, they have what they call filial responsibility laws. And I think it's only Pennsylvania that I know of that these filial responsibility laws are actually enforced. And in Michigan, like if you had someone who's at the Kalamazoo State Hospital, for example, they could come after state of Michigan if they provided services. They could come after the family to get paid for those, all right, to the relatives. And there was a whole process. We only had 30 years. I've only had 3 or 4 of those cases. And we wound up not paying, because if you know how it works, you don't have to pay. But when you get the bill from the Kalamazoo State Hospital, you think, oh my God, I got to pay this. And so I think that's what usually happens. But when you thread the needle, right, you don't actually have to. You just got to do it right. So estate recovery says if you received help with long-term care, if we helped you out, if you got the Medicaid, we want our money back. Doesn't work that way with Social Security. Doesn't work that way with Medicare. Doesn't work that way with any other government program that you qualify for. But it doesn't work that way with food stamps or whatever they're calling that now. Okay? But if you receive help with long-term care, it's not enough, like in this case, it's not enough that they take all your money, they take all your possessions, right? If they let you keep anything, a house and car, everyone's like, oh, I get to keep a house and a car. Oh, I get to keep that. You get to keep it until you die, and then they're coming after it. And if you sell it in the meantime, sell your house, now it's cash, and you have to give them the cash. So again, it's another one of those situations where somehow or other people think, oh, it's going to be easy here. Oh, it's not going to be a big deal. Not going to be a big deal till you get into it. Now, estate recovery says you got to pay us back. If we helped you with long-term care, you got to pay us back. Okay. which they don't do, I'm repeating myself, but as they don't do with Social Security, Medicare, or any other of the government programs that you paid for. You paid for this Medicaid, you paid for the long-term care, right? But they don't say, oh, you got a heart transplant. Give us back that heart, pay for that later on. It's absurd. They don't do that. They do it here. They do it here. And you're grateful. Oh, they let me keep the house. Yeah, until they decide to take it. Now, Michigan is unusual in that Michigan doesn't come after your house until after you're gone, until after you've died. Most states, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, right? 43 states put a lien on your house when you apply for Medicaid. All right? You can sell it, but then you got to pay back the state. Okay? But a lien goes on. And Michigan doesn't do that yet. Right? So estate recovery in Michigan means if you die and you have no stuff, no problem. If you die and stuff goes through probate, they're coming for it. That's the way it works now. Okay? That's the way it is. When you say, whoa, well, thank goodness they're not putting the lien on. I say, yeah. But the only reason we don't have the lien is because back in 2012, when they tried to do it, now I know it's 12 years ago. Oh, it's a long time. Yeah, well, I've been at this for a long time. 34 years I've been at this stuff. All right. So 12 years ago, they tried to come after your house. They tried to put the lien on. But we have Republicans and Democrats, and the Republicans actually had something to say about it. Okay. And the deal didn't go through. They expected it to. But in Lansing right now, who's in charge of the House? Who's in charge of the Senate? Who's the governor? Same people, same parties, same policies. And nobody's talking about this stuff. Nobody is talking about it. But the law is ready to go because they went through all the hard work of writing a law that could be enforced. They even codified it, right? There's a place in the law for them to plug this thing in, okay? And it's been 12 years that they haven't gotten your house and they wanted to. 12 years of not putting a lien on your car and they wanted to. 12 years. It's been longer than that, but 12 years since they did the work of coming after the house, doing the law, so now they can get it. What do you think is going to happen, right, after the election in November? It's a thing they've always wanted. It's all ready to go. And now everybody's on the same team. You have to ask yourself a question. Does the government have enough money? Because if they don't have enough money, and you know they don't have enough money, this will be a way for them to get more money very easily. And they just say, hey, we're doing what everybody else is doing. And they're right about it. They are correct about that. You can defeat that by good planning. But if you just go along with it, sail with the breeze, you're going to lose. That's the way it is.